Hello and welcome back for part 2 of the Outlaw 9 Holes of Christmas special. Now instead here you have Ice Tray and Summer with Autumn.
Come on already. This is a no-brainer.
And I didn't notice before in the other game that you can press up and down and change their costumes. The weird part is they just say that they have their Christmas best on. They don't say like... I honestly thought it would have been cool if they had like holiday outfits like those crazy elf guys, and they looked a little bit more festive. But either way,
man, it's cold out here. You know, any reasonably intelligent human being should know better than playing golf on an ice-covered glacier.
And then here's the first hole.
Stupid. Here we are at the first. All right, now, all you gotta do on this hole is hit the ball straight. We're talking 421 yards of straightness, folks. You don't want to slice it, you don't want to hook it, just go straight. If you hit it straight, you're in the money. Not straight, you're in the crapper. Oh, and did I mention this is a par 4? What, am I expected to do everything around here? Summer is eyeing that
and now this is the same place that you were, the same glacier place you were last year. This is actually 2003's version of 9 Holes of Christmas. As I had mentioned, they didn't have a re-release like they did with the original 9 Holes of Christmas, so there wasn't like Holiday Golf 2 or anything. So this was exclusive to Blockbuster no matter what. It even says it right on the front case. And as I'd mentioned in the previous video, in this one there are actually 2 courses which I go over stroke limit.
Third shot.
And once again, I really don't understand how that whole composure thing really affects anything, but the, as I was mentioning in the other video, there's the Outlaw Volleyball Red Hot, which is another Blockbuster exclusive one. And, it was basically, instead of being cold, it's hot, and like one of the levels is hell, and there's all kinds of devil costumes and everything, so that's a pretty cool thing I'll have to feature in a future video. What's kind of strange is that after... Oh, here comes the beating that I'd mentioned in my earlier video. Basically what you had to do is you had to hit your button as it went into those little blue and green zones, which I totally messed up in this fight. I only had it twice, which always makes your composure either equal or a bit higher, which, as I had mentioned numerous times in these 2 videos now, I'm not sure if that really like helps you play golf or if it's just like a added like side thing just to take your attention off how dull a golf game can be sometimes. And I can definitely say that when I fought the opponent is that they always beat me. That's why I'm happy this is only a solo experience.
Check out this 170-yard par 3. If this ugly sucker of a hole doesn't give you the chills, nothing will, except maybe shaving my back. Just watch out for the frozen water hazard on your left, unless you enjoy ice fishing with your balls. Then it's a straight shot to the green, and by straight shot, I mean there's plenty of blue ice, sand traps, trees, and avalanches to make this hole your worst nightmare. Enjoy.
Okay, and just like with Outlaw Volleyball, the original, this is based off of, Outlaw Golf 9 Holes of Christmas, the original. This one is still based off of the original Outlaw Golf. This is not based off of Outlaw Golf 2, because this came out in late 2003. You didn't get Outlaw Golf 2 until October 21st of 2004 for Xbox in North America, November 25th, 2004 for PlayStation 2 in North America, and then February 4th of 2005 for Europe, PAL territories on both consoles. Sadly, there was no GameCube version. I guess maybe everyone had just given up on the GameCube versions at this point in history, which is kind of crazy considering the console exclusive on the first one was Xbox and GameCube. The console exclusive on the second one is Xbox and PlayStation 2.
Okay, let's just be honest. This 407-yard par 4 is gonna kill you, so you might as well just lie down and kiss your frostbitten butt goodbye. I mean, come on! Look at this thing! How is anyone supposed to stay on the fairways, let alone the green? Whoever designed this course is one masochistic maniac. Kinda reminds me of myself, actually.
Now, both of the Outlaw Golf games were developed by Hypnotics. The first one was published by Simon and I think it's Simon and Schuster Interactive, whereas the second one was published by Global Star Software. Doesn't make any difference, but it's just an interesting fact.
Second shot. Yeah, baby, nice contact.
And what's good, the only good thing about the announcer is like when you do really well,
What a great spot to lay.
he'll actually tell you that you did really well, which does help a little bit considering, like with most sports, you notice I don't cover many sports games on my channel. I don't really know a lot about the mechanics of the sport, so it's a little bit harder for me to realize what's good and what's bad and whatnot like that.
There you go.
And now this is one of the many stages with the big islands that
Seventh shot.
is really hard, honestly.
Setting in.
Oh, and as I mentioned before, Outlaw Tennis was the last Outlaw game released in on July 26, 2005 on both PlayStation 2 and Xbox. But it seems like right after that, the Outlaw series has totally gone away. But at this point, you had quite a few characters. There were, in fact, more than a dozen.
Okay, Bubby, you're looking at 187 yards on this little minx of a par 3. Arrgh. Be sure to watch out for that drop off the tee. I hope you brought a sleigh and some reindeer to get down that sucker. You'll want to stay off the ice hazard on your left and keep out of the sand on your right, smart guy. Then you're home free to the green, which is really white since we're on a friggin' glacier.
Speaking of the Outlaw Tennis game, it makes me think of this game that was actually a simple 2000s Love Smash Tennis. It was a Japanese import for PlayStation 2. The way that somebody originally has sold this, and it seemed like everybody had adopted the same naming recognitions, they called it Dead or Alive Love Smash Tennis, which of course sadly made me buy it, and it turns out it wasn't all that great. They eventually did release better versions of Love Smash Tennis, which were basically all Japanese anime character girly tennis.
This green is going to break
And one thing, if you remember in the other video, it seems like Summer bends over a lot more than Harley does when she does these shots. And it looks like, well, actually, yeah, Harley did make it into the other game.
Here we are at the fifth.
Well, I sure hope you wore your thermal undies, cause the weather outside is frightful, but not as frightful as this par 5, 496-yard beauty. The only thing narrower than this fairway are the women I date. You're gonna need pinpoint accuracy on this frosty fairway, or you'll end up on the ice skating ring to the left. Remember, while you're on the tee, to take a deep breath and enjoy that authentic pine-scented car freshener smell, cause that's the last thing you're gonna enjoy. After this hole, you'll probably want to take the 5th on your score.
And that game, hole right before, I believe, is the one that I'd mentioned in the first video, where I honestly got like the par just by dumb luck. I wasn't even trying. I probably couldn't do it again. It's like one of those categories in the Rob Dyrdek show, ridiculousness. You'll never do this again. I think I do a bit better in this beating than I did in the original one. Yeah, I got a couple more hits. I think I only had like 2 or 3 of those. I think I had about 4 in this one. You notice it took the composure up to smokin', as Jim Carrey would say, and as The Mask. That's probably what they were referencing there. And now all the little elf people are very happy that we are playing golf here today in the freezing cold weather, where our golfers aren't wearing anything that would actually keep them nice and warm, so that's another thing that doesn't make any sense. Especially Summer here, who doesn't have anything on her arms. And of course you can see her breath, so she must be cold. I could remember a lot of people around the time these came out, they were really mad that they were exclusive to Blockbuster or other stores, and it wasn't like a wide release. But then people realized it's basically a glorified demo that's like holiday themed, just to cash in on the holidays. And from what I understand, you didn't actually pay all that much. It was probably something like $5 with a rental or something. And there goes another one of my gimmies. I just hit the button. I was like, I just want this hole to be over.
Hot oil massage? Ew. Pedicure?
We're at the 6th.
What makes this 413-yard par 4 so challenging is not the picturesque oil wells on the left, whose toxic fumes cause players to experience mild eye irritation and severe respiratory failure. No, it's the charming bridge that leads up to the green. And of course, by charming, I mean old and rickety and cross at your own peril. By the way, insurance policies make a wonderful stocking stuffer.
And that's another thing you notice in these games as opposed to like your straight-laced sports games. A lot of the stages and a lot of the areas will be like out of the ordinary. You won't be like playing on a standard fairway or a standard volleyball or a standard tennis place. You'll be like in these really weird locations, and of course the announcer can have plenty of time to make fun of those things. Now I'll warn you right ahead because I remember this. This is one of the ones where I have too many strokes and I can't finish the course because it's just that there was no way I was getting the ball over there. Now that I've looked at this again, you probably had to hit it over to the side there if you could actually hit it on the ice and then hit it from there. That's probably the only way you could do it. And one of the things I noticed, I don't know if it's something that happens in all these golf games, but if you mulligan a certain amount of time, when you finally take the court, a shot, and you don't mulligan, it actually skips 2 shots. So it'll be like 12th shot, then you'll mulligan a few times, then it'll be like 14th shot. So I'm guessing that's because you're mulliganing so much. And I find it weird that her caddy's all the way down in the bottom. She's standing on the side of the hill with no feet actually making contact with the hill.
14th shot. Unless this one goes in the hole.
And now this is the last shot, which of course lands in the water, just as I'd mentioned.
If I were this golfer, I'd throw my clubs in right after.
And now those ones were extremely hard to edit to get all my mulligans out.
Wow! Would you look at this hole? It's a 371-yard par 4 killer. Notice how the fairway is kind of shaped like a bloated pancreas. And up ahead, you'll see the green, which looks sort of like a kidney on dialysis. Who would have guessed a half year of med school would come in so handy for golf?
Now, I wouldn't doubt there are probably some people online who are looking at this and are thinking, oh my god, is he horrible at this game? But I can honestly tell you, I've had, as I may have mentioned in the first video, I've had very little to no touch time with the Outlaw Golf games, and I figured, I honestly just wanted to do a Christmas video this year, so I figured I would use the Outlaw Golf games. And when I figured out that they were both just, that there was only 2, not 3, as I immediately thought, since I thought Holiday Golf was like another special game. But if you ever look at the back at Outlaw Holiday Golf and Outlaw Golf 9 Holes of Christmas, they're almost the same. I think there might be 1 or 2 things left off of it because there's extra video segments on the Blockbuster version, 9 Holes of Christmas. This may be the second hole where I stroke out as well because I actually took too many shots. Didn't realize that I probably should go to the side and use that as a platform for my ball so I could get it over there. So you're just going to see me repeatedly and repeatedly. I think here's where I figured I could possibly use that. But the game doesn't seem to be too nice to you when you try to do stuff like that. And I was thinking to myself, oh good, I have it in another place, then I have to drop it, of course, which it won't let me drop it anywhere that'll give me any strategic advantage at all. Since if you heard right there, it was making that sound like you're not allowed, so I just said previous lie because it wouldn't let me do it. That's one thing I liked about these games, when you were to actually turn toward the crowd.
Well shot. We can only hope and pray
when you
that
actually
this
turn
will
to the
be
crowd,
the
they
only
actually all run away, and I always thought that was funny.
Yeah, I don't know if they want to go that way.
But yeah, no matter what I did, even with that other shot where it went over to the left, I couldn't actually get it to, like, just lie there. I even just hit A. I didn't hit previous lie, and it just...
Bam, that ball is out of
It
bounds.
just didn't let me it stay there at all.
Well, look on the bright side. I know, I'm hot.
Here we are at the 8th.
This 545-yard par 5 nightmare starts off difficult and ends up impossible. Once you tee off from this ice cave, you'll realize that keeping the ball on the fairway is going to be tougher than stuffing Santa Claus down a 16-inch chimney pipe. Well, if you end up feeling bad because you can't handle this hole, don't worry. It's completely normal to experience a little depression during the holiday season. Remember, it's just a game, and the gallery isn't laughing at you. They're laughing with you.
Now, when he made that comment about the chimney pipe, it made me think of a movie that I actually had watched recently, The Santa Claus, when he got, like, sucked into the pipe, and, like, a fireplace just formed in the place. I doubt they were making any kind of reference to that, but I just thought that was kind of a funny coincidence, since I actually had just recently watched that. It's one of those films I usually watch for Christmas.
Toronto. Second shot.
And I think you probably, if you knew your golf clubs, you probably could play this game a lot better since you knew what clubs would do what. But since all golf clubs to me are just golf clubs, I really can't figure out what golf club is going to do what to the ball. I wouldn't doubt if you were really cool, you probably could mod these levels into the original Outlaw Golf for Xbox, and then either A, replace the levels, or B, like, add them. I don't know if you could or not. And there's another one where I had to place the ball.
Fourth shot.
And I always find that so weird that it's really glitched in a lot of games. Even some modern games will do it, where instead of having your character like walk over there, it just kind of reses them in, and it just looks weird.
Summer is gonna kick up a little sand on this next shot.
And you'll notice what the announcer there, it does the thing where he just says he's about to say the phrase, but he just adds in the name, so it's like Summer is going to kick up a lot of sand with this shot. It's kind of like when you call one of those like helplines, and it's like, and it calls you, and it will add your name. It'll be like, "Hello, customer. You have to pick up your computer."
You must be devastated. Thank you for understanding. What? Skank.
We're here at the 9th.
There are two ways to describe any given hole, naughty or nice. This 406-yard par 4 is pure naughty. If you're even the least bit afraid of heights, this hole will have you crying like a little girl in no time. If I were you, I'd write to Santa and ask for a really low score, or an extra case of balls, and while you're at it, why not ask for a life, and a girlfriend, and a bank account? A grown-up writing to Santa Claus? What a jump!
I definitely have to say, of all the post-match comments that Summers made, I still like that one where she's like, where her caddy's like, "Hey, look on the bright side," and she's like, "Yeah, I know, I'm hot." I just thought that was funny.
Second shot.
And basically, as I had said, these two little demos, I believe one of them may have been included on an Xbox magazine disc. If I actually find that, I'll throw it in the bottom of the description of one of these videos so everyone can try it themselves if they have one of the Xbox magazines. But they're actually pretty fun. They're like a fun holiday distraction. Unless you're really an Xbox collector, I wouldn't say to like seek these out, or unless you really like golf. But that's going to be all for me for right now. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, enjoy your holidays, play some games.
All right.
I'll see you guys later.
Mark.
Bye.
Hey, glad you could join us today. Hope we see you out here again soon. On behalf of myself and the crew, we hope to see you back here real soon.